Welcome back. We've got a special story for you now from a familiar face about hometown flavor as KUAM's Tomas Maglonia, who is now a graduate student at Stanford, reports about Prubechu, the only Chamorro restaurant in the Bay Area. It's a business that's relied on its island roots and work ethic to make it through the pandemic.
Smoke, char, sour, high acid, is the main players in our cuisine. Soy sauce nowadays has made its way into our cuisine pretty heavily. Finadeni is the mother sauce of all things, and that's just a typical, a very sort of staple sauce made of something salty, something sour, and something aromatic like an onion. So the most common: soy sauce, vinegar, onions, and hot pepper. And coconut. Coconut is a big, it's the tree of life on Guam and provides for all aspects of life. And we never forget that here, and we try to convey that to people. Here at Prubechu, it's an all-encompassing experience. Like, we don't want them just to eat. We want to put the food in a greater context, to tell them about our history, to tell them about our current situation, and all the struggles that come along with that. I always say that Chamorro food is, like one of a very natural. I hate to use the word fusion, but a natural sort of mix of outside influences, particularly colonialism, starting with the Spanish who stopped in Guam. So there's a lot of Spanish influence, empanadas, ceviches, just to name a few. So it's sort of an island style cuisine with a Spanish influence, a big time Asian influence. But it's really hard to describe in a few words. You really got to come and try it for yourself. The Chef Sean Napati, and I, he called me. He's my partner. He called me one day in 2014 and said, and we had been talking about doing something like this for a long time. We'd been in the industry for a long time. He is back of the house and me is front of the house. And in 2014, he called me and he said, "Hey man, I got an opportunity in this spot, in our old location." And honestly, that's all I needed to hear, and the rest is history. Like, I quit my job that day. He went back home for a month. I stayed back and did all the cleaning and kind of prepping the space. He went back home for a little inspiration and ingredient getting. And we opened on like a really shoestring budget. It was like less than 10 grand, but it gave us a platform to, present Chamorro food that we grew up eating in a city that's looking for something new. We opened in December, and so during that time, we were banging. We were full every day. We were getting so much press. 3 months in, we got a big review in the Chronicle, and then COVID hit. And so we pivoted in the early days to go and takeout, and that really was not our forte. We just didn't know how to do it, and it's a whole new model and a whole new skill as restaurant owners, and we just didn't know how to do it well. Hospitality and service is a core value and inside of us, and a lot of times we're being stretched real thin, and it really hurts us because we want to give the best hospitality as possible. Once we moved over here, our community came out for us strong. Not just Chamorros and Guamanians, but everybody who tried Chamorro food and fell in love with it. They have been behind our backs and lifted us up when a lot of restaurants were struggling.
Birthday shout-outs are next. Don't go anywhere.